There was an accusation against her of impropriety, and the Prophet demanded 4 witnesses to such a thing. And that's where you get 4 witnesses in Islam, and obviously you wouldn't have 4 witnesses. So he was actually very sympathetic to the situation of women in his own day. The way it was, he actually cares about women, in fact. Whether that would be sufficient for women nowadays is another issue. He's not a male chauvinist sort of individual from that period. He's sensitive to the needs of widows and orphans, and like, if she wants to marry me, okay. You know, I'll take care of her. You have to take care of the widows, people who were lost in battle and stuff like that. Zayd actually leads the first column north into a reconnaissance mission in Syria. Palestine, Syria. So the Prophet in his lifetime was already considering the conquest north into Palestine, Iraq, Syria, and further afield. And Zayd leads the first expedition north. I don't know if he was killed at that time or not. I don't recall the actual outcome of that, but I know that he was the one who was in charge of that original, maybe around 628 period, 629 or so. The Prophet also took a Jewish wife, or maybe 2 Jewish wives. Not clear, but he took one of the, for instance, one of the tribes that had been expelled was expelled to an oasis not far from Medina, mentioned in the book of Job, called Khaybar, the Jews of Khaybar. And when he conquered that place and killed her father, or the Muslim armies killed her father and brothers, he took her to wife. And Muslims say she was one of the ones that poisoned him, if he was poisoned, whether he was poisoned or not. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised, because she would be not happy about what happened to her father and her brothers. No woman would be, and so someone might have done such a thing. I don't know. I wouldn't want to, I mean, you say, was he poisoned? He may have just had bad heart or something, or something else. Cancer, who knows? He deteriorates towards the end. I showed you in the Quran where you don't have those beautiful verses of the early period. There is definitely a down movement, a short-temperedness, testiness. So it's not clear, but there was also an Egyptian wife who came down from Egypt, and some accused her of something. It's not clear or anything. Muslims don't really think of him as being poisoned. I have no idea. He did die suddenly in 632, and things were not completely arranged in the way everyone wanted them to be arranged. So the succession was the key problem in 632. He didn't stay in Mecca. He came back to Medina. He made his base of operation. And Medina has still become the center of operations of Islam. Mecca is just the pilgrimage site. Medina is the center of Islamic administrative and other activities. And Medina had a name change. Originally it was called what? Yathrib, and later it became Medina al-Munawwar. Al-Munawwar of the lights. Munawwara, Munawwara. Medina, the city, Medina literally means city. There are lots of cities. That's why even in Spain and in Mexico you get people called Medina. Wherever Arabs have gone, the name Medina has followed. It just means city. I mean, there are people from Mexico, aren't there, who you may have met, who are called Medina. It's a popular name in Mexico, and in South America generally, and in Spain and other places. It's because of Arab civilization and the spread of this particular name went far afield, because it just means city. What other Arab names, for instance, have come to California from Arabic? Well, one name that's gone to Mexico is Guadalquivir, Guadalupe, things like that. Guada. In Arabic, what's that? What is that? Wadi. Guada in Mexican Spanish, South American Hispanic, is the variation on Wadi in Arabic. Wadi means river valley. Wadi Kabir, big river. the river near Cordoba is the Wadi Kabir. And in Spanish, that's Guadalquivir. Guadalquivir. Kabir is Kabir. Guada is Wadi. I don't know where they got Guadalcanal from, but anyway. big canal. But Wadi Canal, pardon me. But anyway, Guadalquivir is big river. Guadalajara, I mean, you know, you're getting past me there to figure that one out for you. So that's an Arab name that that traveled into Spanish, that came into the Americas and went far afield. Another famous one I think we mentioned, Gibraltar. Gibraltar. What's that? Jebel Tar. Jebel Tariq. Tariq was the Berber Muslim commander of the original conquest of Spain, and so he's called. And so where he's landed in Spain is commemorated, supposedly, I don't know if he really landed there, as Jebel, the mountain of Tariq, the rock of Tariq, Jebel Tar, Gibraltar. Now it's the name of a big American bank, I think. The Rock of Gibraltar, Jebel Tar, mountain. Jebel in Arabic is mountain. So we do have some things that came into the West. Medina is actually, just means city in Arabic. Originally it's called Yathrib, Al-Yathrib. Okay. So the tribes that had come in under the Prophet from 628 to 632 at his death had given, they felt that they had paid homage and obeisance to the Prophet. When he had died, they didn't feel that they needed to stay in Islam or be part of this community. And so they basically became disaffected and felt they could leave. But in the wars from 632 to 634, under the next caliph, or the new caliph, the first caliph, we'll get to him in a moment, our continuation of the Urida Wars, the Wars of Succession, and the champions and others brought these tribes back in through warfare around the Arabian Peninsula. Who was the successor? I said it was sort of a situation that nobody really knew what to make of it. It hadn't been provided for, and this is where people say, "We're going to do Shiism." Yeah, well, this is where Shiism starts, right here. This is the dispute. It still is raging today. It's just a dispute over succession, and then it snowballs into other accoutrements. But originally, it's a dispute over succession.